What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 21 of my Total Warhammer II modded Count Noctilus campaign. So as we saw last time, all of our lords have been fairly busy, but have now gotten a little bit of a reprieve, with Noctilus having gotten out of Lustria finally and setting sail on the seas once more and heading to Sartosa. Meanwhile, Harkin has defeated a lot of the forces of the Sentinels and is moving up to destroy their final territories, or rather take over their final territories as he shores up Lustria. Similarly, Silostra is pretty much done with Ulthuan right now, as everywhere that we wanted to get to has a nice pirate cove, so she is able to go to either Albion or possibly Norska, wherever we can find more of those locations for the pirate coves. Now I'm seeing that the 1,000 Maws are here, and it's making me think, do we want to attack the 1,000 Maws to take this, or do we not? It's kind of a difficult choice. Also, I do want to get somebody back to Hag Grief, ironically, to get a pirate cove established there. We're already able to in 5 turns, but ooh, wait, is Silostra able to get pirate captains on the field? Yeah, no, she's not. We are 5 out of 5, unfortunately. Damn. If we had one, I would have sent one over, but, well, you're all the way at Norska, and you're probably going to take too long to get there. We'll see where the next... Ooh, wait, actually, you're ready to go to the skull, right? So let's go right here, and let's dig. I assume that this is the place. Yes, indeed it is. A great hoard of treasure, and we got some money out of it, as usual. Quite nice. And now, while we're at it, let's check out what else we're doing. Margaret, where are you headed? Oh, we also got tech. I don't remember exactly. It was where Isha's Tears fall, or something like that, so I guess it was on this side. I'm gonna assume it's somewhere over here, by this little water area. That seems like it, and there's a bunch of little camps over here. Yeah, that looks like a location that's pretty diggable, so let's try it over there. Hopefully it's not on this side, like right here. That would be kind of annoying, but once again, I guess we'll see. Ooh, and there are skulls here, and I just want to point out that the last time we dug where that Isha's Tears fell thing was one of those locations with a bunch of bones and stuff. Alright, let's get Tim some immortality. He's been wanting that. Ooh, let's also get our next tech. Interestingly enough, we're basically done with all of our best techs, so now, well, I mean, there's still a few really good ones, but they're more like individually good techs. None of the stuff that we're getting anymore is going to make a massive difference to us. Well, Vampiric Corruption is not horrible. Casualty replenishment rate also not horrible, but once again, there's nothing that'll massively buff up any units. I mean, Reinforced Carcasses is amazing. It's just the fact that we don't have a lot of these units yet. We need more buildings and stuff to be able to get those, so certainly going to be useful. Let's get the slight reduction to Necrofex Colossi, as we will be getting more soon-ish, and then just proceed after that. Let's get to that, and who else needs to do something? Alright, Noctilus, you are going to grab a bunch of cash here from the Skull Island. We're just going to quickly auto-resolve that. Alright, there, raid the cove, auto-resolve, definitely don't need to fight this garbage, and you can take the money, I think. You don't need XP for this army, because it's basically maxed out. Yeah, just ransom the captives for cash. But there we go, and we got ourselves another Riddle of Ranald and a Relic Sword. I don't really care about the Relic Sword because it's trash, but come on, Noctilus, you can find better treasure than that. Alrighty, move up here, please. You're still going to be in our own held territory, or our own controlled seas, so it won't matter. As soon as we end the turn, we're also going to get attacked to the Galleon's graveyard, which I guess will make once more a cinematic battle. Oh, and we got level ups on Noctilus and Co. as well. Now, you do have Hornswoggle right now, so I think now is going to be the time to start moving through your red line, as otherwise we'll never be able to. So, with regards to your red line, Rotten Death is definitely what we want for those Necrofex Colossi, and most likely I'm just going to go for Black Powder Overload as well, although Black Powder Overlord sounds better to me. That could be Noctilus's title. Between the Necrofex Colossi and all the artillery. I mean, endgame army for him, in my opinion, is going to be a bunch of Necrofex Colossi, as well as a bunch of artillery. The zombie pirate gunnery mobs and the deck gunners and stuff, they're eventually going to get transferred to whichever lord we make our fleet gunnery master, as there's got to be some differentiation of armies, and somebody's going to have this. You will buff Rotting Promethean's gunnery mobs, which are going to go to... they are going to go to Luther Harkin, so there's that. The other option, of course, would be to make the Gunnery Master not... let's see, oh no, but the missile strength only buffs either zombie pirate gunnery mobs or rotting Promethean gunnery mobs. I was about to say maybe we make the Gunnery Master buff up carronades, mortars, and Queen Bess and stuff, and just have a bunch of artillery with a few other units. But I feel that, considering that the buffs aren't for everybody, although the reload time is about equivalent, isn't it? And then the ammunition is for... Oh, the ammunition is also... But it's also faction-wide. I don't know, I'll think about it. That's I'm still probably gonna do the thing with transferring these units out of Noctilus's army eventually. They've already had such a good time in his army and have done so much. Plus, I do want to point out that once again he doesn't actually buff them at all. They're just really powerful on their own. Plus the stuff that we've been carrying around. Anyway, Powder Monkey for you. Let's keep going through this stuff on you two Gunnery Wights. So we do want to get more Gunnery Wights. Can't be forgetting that. Yeah, Powder Monkey for you as well, buddy. You guys can both do quite a bit of damage now. And who else needs to move? We also probably could spend some cash. Noctilus, let's see. Is there anything you can build right now? I was originally going to save the 22 for either the Sylvanian battlements or the or one of these composite hull things. It would be a lot faster to get this, and then at least finally be able to get Necrofex Colossi, which are pretty cheap when in Noctilus's army. Plus, they're going to get even cheaper when we complete our research. The only thing is then we'd have to be able to transfer stuff relatively soon, so it's just another consideration. Luther Harkin also leveled up. Oh, damn it, I did not mean to click that. You leveled up as well, buddy. And you have All Hands Away, and you have both Ensorcelled Weapons and Deadly March, so you basically have what you want in those lines. Let's start making you a fighter, then hard to hit. You're a little bit too easy to hit, even at 64. I mean, we've been trying to spam all the melee defense buffs for you, but it's still really not enough. You do take quite a bit of damage and are surprisingly fragile, although Luther Harkin's kind of like a glass cannon, right? He does a lot of damage. He just also takes a lot of damage at that. Some settlement upgrades available in the Mine of Bearded Skulls, sure. I don't see why not. Let's in fact take a look at if there's anything here that needs to be upgraded. Galleon's Graveyard, we're waiting on that, that's fine. You're about to get attacked anyway. Let's not put anything in just in case, or else what if you die? Let's see, Sacred Pools. Well, I guess we get another horde of booty. And Pirate Gallows, yeah, Pirate Gallows is always good. More growth. It's going to take a while to grow the Sacred Pools back up anyway. And your Public Order is at +6 versus +4. Still not enough. Just got to wait for that corruption to grow until we can tax. Yeah, same thing for you. You're not going to be able to get on tax. Wallatal, I think you're in the same sort of deal. Yeah. I'd love to get the money, but oh, come on. Everybody needs more Public Order here. Gotta corrupt the places faster, guys. Come on, work on it. Alrighty, let's just take a quick look at Silostra. I think there's nothing else to build that she's... yeah, she's out of population surplus, unfortunately. So I guess we hold on to the rest of the cash and then we proceed. One other thing, check the Riddles of Ranald. What do we have here? Not treasure... yeah, treasure maps. There's one... oh. One all the way down here in Chupayatl or Mangrove Coast. I'm not sending Noctilus down here. Noctilus is busy now. He's too busy for this nonsense. Let's just see. Okay, so 3 up there. The one in Norska is done now. I'm kind of tempted to delete this one, but you know what? We could keep it around for now and then delete it later. I think the pirate captain at Norska. You're gonna go down here to Erengrad. Worldwalkers has Erengrad, which probably means it's not generating a lot of cash. I mean, I'll check it out, but I doubt it.
Fleet captain, reporting.
It's probably not going to be that worth it. I'm just thinking, what else would be worth it? Probably the most worth it is going to be Hag Grief, or possibly, depending on how much the Skaven have built it up, Car on Car. Car on Car generally it does make quite a bit of cash, but we've got a lot of the good ports. There's also Bordelot to consider, but 14-15 is not that good. There's also these ports, but we're going to capture those ports with Noctilus and Aranessa quite soon. So, yeah, anyway, I believe we end the turn now, and we're going to get attacked. Let's make hopefully a good show of it. And not lose the Galleon's Graveyard. This does seem to be like a 3/4 stack sort of deal going on here, but partly, I think, because there's a lot of elite units in here. I saw a dragon and some other stuff. So who knows? And maybe it's not a full stack because it's just that powerful. We'll see what else is in there in a second when they attack us. Plus, that'll be the second sea shanty on top of that. Alright, come on now. Let's get singing. Or shantying. Singing in a round that what? Wait, what? They've sieged it instead of attacking it. Oh, well, that's curious. I was not expecting that, but we can sally out and attack them. This doesn't matter. This really doesn't matter. And wait, did you just lose some more of it? Huh, I think his troops count actually dropped. What is this? What are you doing? Alright, well, let's just first get our tech, and then we'll deal with this nonsense. And speaking of tech, I guess we're gonna get the casualty replenishment, right? It's always a good pickup, so pretty cheap in terms of that. Let's go. Close victory, you say. Oh, okay, so they have 2 dragon princes, they have 2 dragons, some swords masters of hope. Yeah, okay, I know that it says close victory, but it's not gonna be. And we could very well auto-resolve it, but I guess we'll fight it cinematically just to watch the dragons drop out of the sky, because there's no guarantee that we'll get a better battle this episode, so yeah. Plus, it's a sea shanty battle, so it feels like we probably have to, although this army... What happened to you, Pharaon? What happened to you? Die. Alrighty, here we go. I don't imagine we're gonna have too much trouble with this unless we make some crazy mistakes. Obviously, we're gonna have to try to target the dragons with our, well, probably our depth guard with halberds. I was about to say our ranged units, but the ranged units may have a difficult time dealing with them depending on how they approach us. Now, the last time we fought in this particular battle against the last army, they also had, I believe it was a dragon, I think it was a frostworm actually, but it approached right through the center like this, whereas the dragons here are approaching from the 2 sides, which is not as good for us, obviously. Try to get a few shots on this dragon here with our deck gunners. Deck gunners, obviously, pretty amazing unit at sniping single target units, but unfortunately, because of the way that this dragon approaches, it will go through the trees and we're not going to be able to make too many shots there. So we are going to switch targets immediately and try to target something over here instead. Meantime, we are going to move up our, let's just see here, 1 second. We're going to move up our depth guard as well as our Morgulls. The Morgulls was the thing I was talking about. Help the depth guards surround the dragons and kill them with the Morgulls if we can. I'm also here hoping that the dragon doesn't drop down on our bloated corpses, which would otherwise make it useless, and instead goes for these depth guard, which I think, despite being dual axes, would still have a fairly decent time against it. And yes, it is going to drop down here. Knowing that, we are going to get our one of our units with depth guard with pole arms. Are going to take a while to get there, but they're certainly going to be able to help. Otherwise, we are also going to defend against the enemy dragons here, but unfortunately, because of the angles, it's not going to be possible to fire on them immediately, but that's not the end of the world. We do still have other targets, for example, this unit of dragon princes, which is... Ooh, I like the gray color scheme on them, actually. Looks quite nice, although it's not going to look so nice when it's all red and they're all going to get wrecked by those deck gunners. There we go. As soon as they start getting hit by the deck gunners, they do move away, and they suffer half damage to the deck gunners as well as the zombie powered gunnery mobs really quickly. Now, over on the other side, another unit of dragon princes decided to charge our units of depth guard, which obviously did quite a lot of damage to the latter. It's not surprising at all, considering the fact that the depth guard are fairly fragile, but to be fair, the dragon princes also did take quite a lot of damage themselves. We, on the other hand, also have a unit of Morgulls and a second unit of depth guard moving in, and I think together they should be able to dish out enough damage. Now, over on this side, the other dragon as well as the prince on that great eagle are going to get surrounded by our Morgulls, our other depth guarded pole arms, as well as the various rotting Prometheans. We're just going to try to keep them in place while we rip them apart with the depth guard and the Morgulls there. Alrighty, ooh, and finally, it looks like the enemy Way Watchers are going to be firing on our zombie pirate deckhand mob. That's probably going to dish out a considerable amount of damage. Ooh, and at the same time, one of our bloated corpses actually did manage to go in and do more than half damage to a unit of Swordsmasters of Hoeth, which is not too bad, especially with the Sirens here to clean it up, and possibly a little bit of help from the zombie pirate gunnery mob with bombers. I think that should be it for them. One of our Sirens units, unfortunately, is just about dead, but it is the main blob over here to get with this rotting Promethean gunnery mob. Otherwise, it looks like one of the Dragon Prince's units is about half HP and the other one is lower. So we're trying to target those elite units, but we are certainly taking a little bit of damage here. So well done to the AI for at least doing something there. Unfortunately for these Dragon Princes, they are being shot in the back, and we can see a bunch of them go down from the concentrated fire from one of our zombie pirate deckhands, or zombie pirate gunnery mobs. The other one is, of course, firing on the Swordsmasters of Hoeth and anything it can reach, really. The dragons over here are in pretty bad shape, and even the prince is in pretty bad shape, and even the dragon princes are in pretty bad shape. Everybody's slowly starting to lose HP as we have been able to mob them. Unfortunately for the AI, despite the fact that we didn't really need to, or even try to play particularly carefully, the AI just got mobbed by the superior number of units that we had. I guess the AI is programmed to attack us here, and there's nothing that it can do about that, and thus it's going to just get wrecked. The other dragon over here, the Star Dragon, is surrounded. It is shaken, and it is in pretty bad shape. Yes, it's done about 33% HP to one of our Depth Guard units, but otherwise, we're perfectly fine here. This is just fine. The Depth Guard could finish it off, and even these, even the Depth Guard without the halberds or pole arms could finish it off as well. Alrighty, there we go. Gonna keep firing down into the mob over here now that we have a little bit better angles to hit the enemy, but otherwise, Swordsmasters of Hoeth just about dead. Those Dragon Princes have routed, and I believe these Dragon Princes are completely done for. And now we have all 5 units here, both pairs of Mourngulls, the pair of Mourngulls as opposed to both pairs. The pair of Mourngulls as well as the pair of Depth Guard with dual axes and the Depth Guard with pole arms, all are going to surround this dragon. And well, it looks like the dragon prince, the regular prince is going to try to move away a little bit. Now he's going to go back in while we surround the dragon. And the battle is just about over, to be perfectly honest. The enemy can't really do much of anything else. Yeah, they've got a unit of War Dancers with Azrael Spears still at half HP, and another unit of Way Watchers at full, as well as a second unit of Azrael Spears at half HP, but, you know, they're getting wrecked by our guns. And, oh, it looks like the Forest Dragon is just about done for, and I think the Prince is below half HP. The dragon drops, and I think after the dragon drops, immediately the chain rout starts happening, and the battle, just like that, it was over. It's really, really easy one. We didn't even bother setting it up properly, so now we're just going to chase down the enemy units. I once again don't remember whether this army will die. I'm pretty sure that the last time it did in fact die as soon as we defeated it, so we don't have to chase this down. One of the great things about these defensive battles in the Maelstrom is that we don't really care if the units live or die, as in our own units, so we don't really have to play very carefully or conservatively there, and can just, you know, play some units sacrificially. Well, that's always fun. Oh, and I wonder if this Depth Guard unit or these 2 Depth Guard units, rather, managed to chase down this dragon. I mean, I think this is a pretty good trade. Basically, half a unit, or maybe 66% of a unit of Depth Guard with dual axes, and like 2% damage to a Depth Guard with pole arms, traded for 1 Star Dragon. In terms of cost, that seems pretty good to me. Now, we do try to chase the enemy units down, but unfortunately, even the Mourngulls and even the Depth Guard are unable to catch up with those War Dancers with Azrael Spears. They only run at 50, but I guess we're just too damn slow here. Disappointing. 57 speed on the Mourngulls. They're close. They're just a little bit too slow to catch them, it looks like. But yeah, damn, those Wood Elves run fast. And then the same thing happens over here. I really would have thought that our units would be able to catch them, especially as we have a lot of aquatic units, but it's taking so long. Maybe the Sirens will finally get there, but nope, they are running fast enough, it looks like. And now they're out of the water. Maybe the Sirens will catch them when they're running uphill because the Sirens have Strider? No, still no. Damn, freaking Elves. And I guess if they're good at something, they're good at running away. Anyway, let's speed the battle up to max. There we go, close to victory, but it doesn't matter what kind of victory it was as long as it is a victory, because the enemy army will be gone. We got our next our next sea shanty. I do wonder what kind of army the third one is gonna have, but alrighty, well, I will admit that I was pleasantly surprised with the amount of damage the AI was able to dish out with such a limited army, full of elites, though it was. What kind of annoyed me was the fact that the Azrai spears run faster through water, especially Maelstrom water, than frickin' Depth Guard do. How do aquatic vampires run slower than Wood Elves in water? It makes no sense. What else should be, you know, like fish out of water, shouldn't they? Doing that, but hey, whatever. It was just impossible to chase them down. I was just like, what the hell? Anyway, we are going to, well, I guess take the money once again. It's not like this army can do anything to us, and either way, we get the army destroyed and the second sea shanty is ours. This one's quite a bit of a nice buff, as well as the upkeep reduction on top of that. Constant casualty or punishment rate is good. Range is the biggest upgrade, of course, in addition to the upkeep reduction. All very nice. Now we've already read that, so now we will get to the next sea shanty. Lovely. Alrighty, Dragon Spine Privateers destroyed. None of that really... not like if they had survived, they would have been able to do anything. Alrighty, Noctilus, time to auto-resolve yourself a few more islands as you head on to Sartosa. Sunken chest for you, please. Wax-sealed rations, upkeep minus 10% for all units on your army. Very nice, that instantly got us. Wow, that got us a lot of money. An instant 2.7k. How expensive is your army? Well, I guess you do have Queen Bess, and you're quite expensive as well, Noctilus, but damn. Alrighty, well, time to move out. You're not going for any of these islands up here. And do we backtrack for these two? I don't think we do. I'm sure we'll send somebody else through the sea to, you know, to deal with that stuff. Luther, hearken you. Let's see. Is there going to be somebody facing you at the Pillars of the Unseen Constellation? And even if there isn't, I feel like we're gonna move in march stance just in case. Or rather, even if there is, we're going to move in march stance just in case. Let's see. Hopefully there's not a full stack there. Oh, okay. There is a... there's quite a bit there. They might be able to reach Harkin. Okay. That might have been a mistake. I'm not sure that you can win. I mean, this army is trash, I will grant. But, yeah, this is going to be quite difficult to take, isn't it? How's Monument of Itzatal? 2 turns. If they could just sit here for 2 turns. Man, that was risky. And I knew it was risky too, and I did it anyway. Alrighty, let's upgrade some stuff, and we should probably also move Silostra out. Silostra, time to sail. Ooh, hello, there's a mysterious island right there. I'll try to go through here, I guess. Oh, look at that crab. So cute. It's been a while since we've seen... well, actually, I don't think we saw the crab on land before. Alrighty, so you just sit here. Wait to be attacked. I wonder if both of these armies can attack you at the same time. Even if they do, they're going to get wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. The Sirens are pretty disgusting. Also, between the episodes, I did transfer the first mate from Noctilus to Silostra. I feel like she would benefit the most from having this unit, as the leadership is pretty darn important on the Sirens, who have fairly low leadership in the first place. And yeah, the longer they have leadership, the longer they're regenerating and not dying. Their melee attacks are or melee defense is quite nice. They just need leadership and defense, essentially, or leadership and attack, rather. So yeah. Alrighty, Wendy and Margaret. Well, Wendy, I guess you're going to check out Erengrad, although I, once again, am not holding out hope that it's going to give us too much. Can we see it? Yeah, we can. Yeah, 302. Yeah, not worth it. Not worth it for you to waste your time setting up a vampire cove there, and I doubt that there's another port here. You know what? Head to Marienburg. Who has Marienburg right now? The Barrow Legion? Oh, freaking hell. They might not be generating that much money from it, but I guess we'll see. Margaret Wake, you are going to go right here and you're going to dig. Let's see if this is what they were talking about. Right there. And dig. There we go. Mission successful. Another great hoard of treasure. We got a decent amount of cash available. Lovely. Libaras. Ooh, you know what might be worthy of a cove? Could be something good at on these isles over here. They do generate a decent amount of cash, typically. Although we do have, I believe, another... Okay, wait, we gotta check the next riddles here. Riddle here, riddle here. Wait. There's one all the way down here. While the flora of the world is exquisite in its danger and its beauty, it has always been the fauna that poses the greatest threat. Fauna, eh? So it's probably beside a giant lizard on the map, if there is one down there. Otherwise, what was the next riddle? It's out here. Oh, is it in the water? Oh, no, it's on the edge. It's on the coast here. Is this actually closer? Well, I guess if we're going to go to the islands, we're better off going boom and then here and then there. Okay, yeah, fine. Alright, that works. Ooh, also, let's keep an eye on our quests. I did want to do the Flabellum quest there, but not while Silastra surrounded, because if she gets damaged in an attack, that's a bad idea. We'll move her a little bit safer forward into the sea more, and then we'll do that. Alright, Deadly Onslaught for James, finally. Been waiting for that for a while. Wendy, you've also leveled up. I guess you can have Retinue Physician, not that it really matters, because you're never going to join an army. Otherwise, let's see if there's any more upgrades that we can do here that would be useful to us. Still holding off on all those. You, Itza, definitely get that, please. Let's see, Galleon's Graveyard. No upgrades needed here as yet. What about here? What was this again? Oh, right. I was thinking that this was probably not worth it. We could keep upgrading this just for the extra gunnery white. Or the eventual extra gunnery. Yeah, why not? Fine. Fine. And then I guess we can do the same thing there, but hold off on it for now. Noctilus, is there anything you can get at rank 9? I think you need rank 12, wasn't it, for the Necrofex stuff? Yeah, you need rank. Fine. Constant casualty replenishment rate versus casualty replenishment rate plus 8. I feel like I'd prefer the constant replenishment plus 5, so shrouded hull over composite hull. Yeah, why not? Alrighty, and once again, I believe with that, we're just going to end the turn. We're going to proceed, not much else to do otherwise. Yada yada, Last Defenders, Nagaron, still quite strong. Ooh, we need to probably check our diplomacy again. Also, I feel like the 1,000 Mods were reasonably friendly with us, and I was going to take over Albion, but hey, I guess we're about to find out if that's still the case in a few seconds. I would like to have a base up there as well. We should have a base in, like, most locations. Like Sartosa will command the area around itself, so Albion could do the same thing up there. Ideally, if we were to take car on car, that would be nice as well. Ripperhorn Tribe. Ooh, hello. What do we have here? Free Gunnery White? I feel like we're going to take the Free Gunnery White. We already have Morngul Hunters, and I believe we can build more, whereas the Gunnery Whites, the problem is we don't have the capacity for them. So yeah, let's raise you, my friend. What do you get? You got yourself Intelligence, so useless research and useless hero self-defense chance. And, okay, yeah, you're kind of useless, man. And you're level 1 at that. Yeah, I'm not happy with you at all. What are we at here? 3 out of 2. So, in fact, you know what? I think we're going to delete you. Sorry, buddy. You do nothing for us right now. The research does nothing and all of that does nothing. We're going to delete you and we're going to build a better one as soon as we get the upgrades for these buildings completed. Noctilus, you, my friend, are going to move out. Once again, keep going. Don't bother backtracking, just go along the coast of Khemri, and then, oh, another wax sealed rations. Now, here's the question. Oh, man, that's stupid. So it doesn't actually buff it up, so we should have had it at 19, but all it does is reset it back up to 10. You disappoint me, game. Why do it like that? Come on. Shouldn't be like that. I mean, we picked up more rations, why wouldn't we? Alrighty, you are gonna head out here. Let's see if these armies are still here. Ooh, one of them has moved away. Oh, looks like he was going for the Monument of Itzatal and has abandoned the Pillars of the Unseen Constellation and is now no longer in range. Ouch. Oh, Sentinels, you done goofed. Now this looks auto-resolvable to me. I mean, it's a bunch of skinks. We really wouldn't have too much trouble fighting us, although it might still be fun to try. I don't know. It's probably not going to be a difficult fight. I mean, if this was Noctilus, there's no way that we would bother fighting this, but then again, maybe with Luther we do, because just for the fun of it. Silastra, let's move you out first, and then we'll deal with that afterwards. Alright, do that. Farsight for you. See, now you get favorable wins. If you had gotten wax-sealed rations the second time and then Noctilus had gotten wins, that would have been much nicer. Alright, hello. Hello. Another Skull Island. Can't quite reach it, but we'll get it next turn and get more money. Alrighty, let's see about upgrades of our buildings everywhere. You, Monument of Itzatal, get that meat market maxed out. Let's also get the Golden Colossus or the Chamber of Visions. Does not matter. I really wish that the Golden Colossus gave you gold. It always fools me like that. Alright, let's do that. Galleon's Graveyard. Once again, I'm going to hold off on your upgrades. And you know what? It's been bothering me, so let's just get the Night Pyres for now. I was going to delete it later on anyway. We can delete it now, but then the question is, what do we replace it with? The reason I got it was to add additional corruption to Lanmapek. And, well, I guess Zahutek as well. Although the corruption here, oh wow, look at this, 13, 15. Yeah, the amount of corruption we can get from this is just plain not enough. Are you even corrupting the area? No, you have Pirate Gallows and Palisades. What we could do is, like, you're having a lot of public order problems from the lack of corruption. Man, yeah, so this thing's gonna be useless. I was thinking here we get the tunnels or whatever they're called, or whatever the version of the building is called here. Low lighthouses, which reduces the public order penalty. But then again, this place would make so little money anyway that it doesn't really give us anything. Now, you know what? Just delete this. We can get something more useful here. Maybe a military building, maybe not. Especially while we have the money, we might as well upgrade everything so we don't have the annoyance of seeing this. Now, why did I build the Admiral's Mausoleum here? I no longer remember. It might be for the extra leadership in the province. Nah, fine, why not? We have to save at least 1 point for the Wreck of the Heldenhammer. We could get the Giant Feeding Cavern. What else can we get here? Oh, right, we probably want to get the Black Powder Depot in here just for the defensive ability that it offers. Otherwise, this is not useful at all. This is not useful at all, really. I mean, this would at least give us campaign movement range reduction, so it would hurt enemies. Income from raiding, all forces in adjacent regions. Yeah, this really does not. Does it? Alrighty, well, I guess we'll just go Necrofex Colossus building and then a Black Powder Depot, so let's do that. How close are we to leveling here? No, not okay. Not that close. At least we're close to the next level. We're not close to where we want to be. Still 29k remaining. Let us, I guess, then fight the... Oh, wait, no. Let's move the... let's move you two out. Erengrad, you are going to be ignored. We are moving you out to Marienburg in the hopes that it still generates a decent enough amount of cash to be worthwhile. Margaret Wake, you are going all the way down to Teotiqua somewhere, find a lizard, and then dig in and around that lizard. Wait, are you guys fighting? Yeah, you are fighting. Good job, Krokgar. Good job surviving everything. I like to see that. Alrighty, ooh, we get another research available. Did I do a research last turn or not? I don't even remember. I think that was supernatural regeneration, but I could be wrong. Corrupt the land, I guess, now. None of the other stuff is really gonna help us all that much. At least not yet. Once again, there's a bunch of good stuff like, well, I guess we can get straining at the leash, but eh. Just double checking here. And I do want to get sentries and commands, so you know what, let's just get... No, let's get Corrupt the Land first, and then I was just talking about Vampiric Corruption, and then we'll get sentries and command. At the very least, it'll enable us to get a... one of the legendary admirals up and running soon. I do want to get another one. We are gaining decent amount of cash now, which is, well, it is going to get depleted considerably once we lose coin from the curs and then a couple of other things, but all good. Anyway, let's fight this battle real quick. Wait. 10 turns until we can pop this again? Yeah, fine. Fine. Ooh, does anything here give us anything useful? No, not really. I'm just searching for rights to do. Alrighty, Pillars of the Unseen Constellations, do the battles and slaughter some skinks. Once again, Luther Harkin gets all the fun, I guess. Wait, we're gonna have to make a cut here since the last battle was cinematic battle, even though it was an easy one, so here comes the cut. Alrighty, there it is, and here we go. Let's see if Luther gets to have even more fun, as I've already noted. Alrighty, here we are. What is likely to be the very last time we face Gorok and the Skinks. Once again, another band name, as I doubt that he's going to recover another full Skink army while we take the rest of the 3 cities remaining to the Sentinels. Also, if I sound a little bit different, I did record this particular battle replay a little bit later than I did the video itself because I was just so damn tired. So if I sound a little bit different, that's why. And if I sound less confused, that's also why. Oh man, if I wasn't too lazy to rewatch everything just to compare my own confusion. But that'll just re-confuse me, you know, it's just the whole thing. Anyway, obviously we're going to try to bombard the enemy with our mortars to, you know, annoy them into attacking us. I also want to point out that this is the exact same battle that we fought Gorok's forces previously with not Count Noctilus, Luther Harkin, and we did well last time against, I think, what was a slightly better army with more Saurus, although they do still have some, wait, do they even have Saurus? I think they had some reinforcing Saurus warriors out of the garrison, but mostly it was Skinks here, and it is a giant pile of Skinks, I will admit. Oh, look at them trying to attack Luther Harkin, probably not going to achieve too much there, although I do also want to point out that last time we fought this exact same battle, where this exact same location, we had double the mortars in that we had 2, and then we ended up losing 1 by virtue of the enemy Cold One Spear Riders charge. Speaking of Cold One Spear Riders, as we get started here, where are they? There's a Feral Cold One unit here, and I believe another Feral Cold One unit here, and aha, the Spear Riders are doing the exact same thing that they did last time, which is move through this hill and try to flank us, so pretty good use of those by the AI. They're sort of distracting us, I guess, by charging directly with the Feral Cold Ones, which may also be a decent use of this. I do like this particular army, though. The giant pile of Skinks always amuses me, and Tehenowin is also one of my favorite lords to play with, as I just find the all-Skink armies really, really fun. I ended up enjoying... I mean, I did a Mazda Mundi campaign and a Gorok campaign, and in both I ended up really enjoying Tehenowin's army. There's just something about those little guys. The Skinks they just make for really fun armies to use, even if they aren't the most effective. Plus, they always get these really difficult battles against super elite troops, like... I'm remembering one with against like a giant pile of blood rack shrines that are anti-infantry, so they were like, you know, pretty good blenders against a giant pile of red-crested Skinks, but it still worked out very nicely. Anyway, over here we're going to immediately summon a unit of Drowned Dead to go to our flank and protect the vulnerable gun line, as well as the even more vulnerable mortars. Luther Harkin is also hovering around, shooting his explosive pistol into the enemies there. Oh, we got an explosion from one of our units being reduced to half HP. Oh, you gotta love the boarding crew and their constant firing. I really like this double line thing that we've got going on with Luther Harkin's army in particular, with the zombie-powered gunnery mob behind the boarding crew, who are also able to fire, and then the sacrificial units of zombies in the background. We're also getting a Vangeister Venture. It's a little bit off. The enemy unit unfortunately moved right after I cast. It was supposed to hit this unit and slightly this unit, but oh well. I mean, it hit a few. It didn't quite achieve what I wanted, but you know, next time. Not a big deal, because the Skinks are, you know, getting pretty depleted fairly quick in terms of numbers. Of course, Gorok is still there, and he will still have to be killed somehow. I doubt that dropping Luther Harkin directly on Gorok is going to end too well for Luther Harkin, even on his Deathshriek Terrorgeist. Although he can certainly mince the enemy Skinks. Anyway, continuing the gunnery here. Oh, and oh, look at the little hermit crab crawling along. Vampire Fleet Captain's gonna move in to shore up the line, as the zombie-powered deckhands mobs are quite close to death. This one's at 52 units and just about to start disintegrating. And oh, it looks like the zombie-powered gunnery mob. Oh, I didn't notice what happened to this one in the previous episode. I had it set up here just in case there were a bunch of Cold One Spear Riders that moved up this way, but they did indeed move up that way, so we had to, as I said, get a summoned unit going there. And I even sent another unit of zombie-powered deckhands mobs. It's mostly to distract the Cold One Spear Riders. They will dish out the damage, and they will certainly kill these zombies, but they're all sacrificial zombies. I mean, to be fair, our entire army is sacrificial zombies, but you know, some zombies are more sacrificial than others. There's a zombie hierarchy. I think that's pretty clear. Already a Vampire Fleet Captain appears to have chased off the main line, and in fact, only this flank appears to remain here with Gorok fighting. Well, it's not surprising. In fact, Gorok appears to be fighting together with his Source Scar veteran alone against this little unit, and that's probably a decent use of the units on our side, just because they're distracting both their Lord and their hero, who could be dishing out a little bit more damage. Elsewhere, Luther Harkin, in the meantime, is just flying around, shooting folks, and you know, forcing them all to rout via his Fear and Terror application, as well as that Death Shriek, or Terrorgeist Shriek. And there we go. Luther lands, and they all run from him. Still quite a few skinks remaining, though, I gotta admit. Even after the amount of casualties that have been dished out, the balance of power police appears to be about 70% in our favor, actually close to 75 there. And the enemy have lost over 1,000 of their skink troops. We've also lost troops ourselves, but those were all sacrificial units. Gonna pop a tide call on the enemy skinks here. Not that it's really needed, just to dish out a little bit of extra damage, but the guns are doing quite well. You can also notice that that a lot of the boarding crew have ceased fire and are now having to move up in order to continue attacking those skinks there. They still have not moved into melee. I like to keep them in reserve, and while they can fire, and while they're not taking a crazy amount of damage, they might as well fight in range. If they were taking a ton of damage, like if we were fighting the High Elves, for example, I would obviously change that up and force them to charge the High Elves, as they would be dishing out quite a bit of damage in melee, but in their current state, there's really no need. 4150 is pretty damn decent stats in melee, but yeah, if they have ammo, they might as well make use of it. Ooh, some nice hits from the mortar, which is maybe quite inaccurate, but still. And oh, there we go. It looks like that Gorok, with the help of a skink cohort, has wiped out that poor unit of sacrificial zombies, but that's alright. And there's also another unit of boarding crew who is actually in melee this time, fighting the skink cohort together with the help of the Vampire Fleet Captain here, although now that they're being charged by Gorok in addition to the reinforcements, that's going to need a little bit of help, and Luther and another couple of units of boarding crew are going to make sure that Gorok and co are not able to get away from this. But otherwise, the battle is nearly over. It's just a matter for the gun line to keep the enemy skinks from approaching us. I do believe the unit of Cold One Spear Riders has almost killed this unit of zombie pirate deckhand mob after they've killed that unit of Drowned Dead, and now we're going to move a unit of boarding crew to actually kill them. The boarding crew shouldn't have nearly as much trouble as the sacrificial zombies. You gotta remember that these are just regular deckhands mobs. They're not the halberd types, although maybe we'll try to remake this army at some point with more of the halberd varieties. I don't know, or maybe we'll do half and half. Or the polearm varieties, not halberd varieties, whatever. That might work out. The thing is, generally speaking, we haven't been running into too many large units, although maybe a couple of the polearms just at the flanks, something like that. Also, we do have a buff incoming for the polearms as well. Not quite yet, but I do remember that there's still a research that we gotta do. Oh, it looks like Luther Harkin was busily killing the Source Scar veteran. He's still at full HP, where the Source Scar veteran is at about, I don't know, 15 to 20%. Looks like Gorok is not... Gorok is like, get away from my son, etc., etc., and he's gonna go in and start dishing out the damage to Luther Harkin, but while he does this, I think it's not going to be too much of an issue, because the rest of the army is about to fall. It looks like his son is also terrified and about to run away while Gorok tries to fight Luther. One-on-one, I'd most likely give this fight to Gorok, I would think, especially if he were able to use all of his buffs. But now we have a Vampire Fleet Captain coming up. We also use a Spirit Leech on Gorok. Oh, and it looks like the army losses have actually begun to tell, and the enemy decides to chain route. No actual need for Luther Harkin to personally duel and kill a Gorok there. Alrighty, another victory in this location. It looks like this particular terrain certainly does favor us, as we do repeatedly win here. Of course, this does not this did not include Tehenuan's army, who might attack us or might move away. I guess we'll see what he does. You could also move to the not to Walatal, the Monument of Itzatal, which still does need, I believe, 2 turns for that wall, so he might be able to get there, or he might not. I mean, if he moves there and marches, he might certainly be able to get there. I would really be annoyed if we lost the place, but I suppose we could raise a lord and raise that. You know what, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see how we did, I guess. It is a close victory after all. We did lose some units.
pirate king only knows victory.
Alrighty, you may only know victory, Luther Harkin, but it was a relatively hard one. I'm fairly impressed, well, verily as well, with how the skinks performed. It was actually fairly difficult to bring them down with our ranged gun line. I don't think the same would have gone, would have happened with Noctilus, but to be fair, that would have been a lot with explosions and Queen Bess and all that stuff, not just the gun line itself. Otherwise, Gorok obviously did decent. He got near 8.5k. Is that the best? Not we got one. Wow. How did you get 12k damage? I don't know what this particular skin cohort did. That might have been the one that was on the flank there. I think the zombie pirate gunnery mob was killed by a skink unit, but I no longer remember. Oh no, wait, or was it killed by the unit of Cold One Spear? I know the Cold One Spear Riders were on the side, are on the other flank. Well, either way, I think, well, I mean, just taking a look at the damage here, it looks like most of our boarding crew did quite a lot of damage in terms of range, 15k apiece, and then, ooh, wow, 24, 25k, yeah, the zombie pirate gunnery mobs with handguns always clean house, but we also have to remember that these guys, the boarding crew, they only dealt primarily damage via range, but they still had plenty to go in terms of their HP, and they could have just all ran into melee and continued to do damage, regardless of how much ammunition they had. So that was still essentially a quote-unquote reserve force, even though they were fighting the entire time. We did lose a few of our units of zombie pirate deckhands mob, but who cares? We're just going to resurrect them. Anyway, occupy the post of the unseen constellation. I do wonder if Tehenuan's going to attack us right after that. Why are you suffering attrition now? Lands in the Dominion of a Vampire. Oh, they suffer attrition regardless of the fact that we don't have any corruption here. Weird. Doesn't make much sense to me, but fair enough. Let's see, enemy leadership -3. Ooh, that's pretty nice for execution. Or what is this? Executed captives after battle multiple times? Sure enough, I gotta make sure to do that. That's, once again, a fairly strong buff. Do we want to get the Trident launcher here? Do we want to maybe get the Steel Anchor? Movement speed? We could also save up and briefly transfer you the ship's carpenter. That's another option. Like, save up to do all three and then do them all at the same time. We just need, wait, 9. Well, I guess we don't have, no, it would be better with 9. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we could wait until 13 and then do that. It would sound like it would take too long. It's definitely an option. But anyway, I do believe with that we're out of time. Next time, I think it'll be time for, I said time like 3 times. It'll be time for Luther to finish off the Sentinels here. And fortunately, that'll mean another full province. I'm curious to see who's at Talaxla. I wonder if there's a Skaven settlement there. Ooh, and this will probably get us close enough to the remnants of the Defenders of the Great Plan. I'm actually shocked that they haven't been destroyed by now. And ooh, looks like Marathi is doing quite well. Oh damn, what the frickin' hell? Why is Sildra Tor generating 3.2k? What the heck is going on over there? How is Sildra Tor generating more money than Ancient City of Quintex? Oh, it's probably because of the slave market. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's the slave market that's doing that. Still pretty crazy, though. Alrighty. Ooh, and 2k out of the moon shard? Oh, damn. Huh. Might have to get some pirate coves in our own allied territories, because those are looking like some pretty nice ports. I am impressed with Marathi. We just got to keep our alliance with her going. Let's just double-check that.
Enter and speak.
Let's see, it's deteriorating a little bit, mostly due to great power. I wonder if we can join war against somebody else that she's fighting. Only Hexoatl. Hexoatl's so weak that we could probably just go ahead and join it.
Naturally.
There you go. There you go. That'll help us with our rep a little bit. We should just try to ally with some of the other factions that she's allied with. She is militarily aligned with us, so I doubt that she's going to betray us suddenly, but she could end the alliance and then betray us. Plus, that's sort of par for the course for Marathi anyway. But anyway, as I already said, I'm going to call the episode here. I am very tired. It's pretty late here, and I probably did sound fairly confused throughout this episode, but hey, it is what it is. Show must go on, all of that nonsense. Next time, as I said, going to finish off the Sentinels of Jati and probably try to move towards Norska with Silostra. Gonna be I'm gonna have to make the decision on whether we try to go for the for Albion and attack the 1,000 Moz, or ally with 1,000 Moz and just go past them and go to Norska. Why am I ignoring Bretonia for now? I feel like we go for Norska first and establish all those pirate coves, because we're never gonna bother with this faction again. So we could just go along the entirety of the coast and then do that, and then just to leave it alone. And oh, there's another coastline here, especially. No, it's mostly Nagaron. Well, we are technically at war with Nagaron. But if we attack them too many times, then Marathi might not like us much anymore. Oh well, we'll have to figure that out next time. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.